Oh, you're gonna love this one. Get comfy, let your thoughts wander, and when you're ready, baby, dream of a new life.
The Enchanted Wager. Power Girls Awakening by Catherine Serafina. Chapter 18, November 6th and 7th, 2025. I woke to soft daylight and a room that felt familiar and newly true at the same time. The walls weren't plain white anymore. They held a whisper of lavender, the kind you only notice when the sun hits just right. My shelves looked mostly the same, but gentler. A couple of little plants in white pots. A framed photo from a beach day. Me in a sundress I definitely didn't own a week ago. And exactly where it's always lived, my glove, the one Dad bought for me when I was little so we could play catch together. Sitting inside it was a signed baseball from a player we'd both loved. The glove had weight and history, its seams darkened by oil and time. That hadn't changed, and somehow that small, solid thing meant everything. The closet doors slid open with their same soft clatter, only the contents had changed. Some of my favorite graphic tees were still there, just cut to a feminine fit now, sleeves a little shorter, the waist a little curved. Dresses took up more space, color easing in like sunrise, creams, deep greens, a few playful florals, and tucked at the back, a single flannel survived the tide. Same pattern, same fraying cuff, just smaller, cut for my frame. Not gone, just translated. The dresser drawers told the rest of the story. What used to be rows of boxers and plain socks was now a neat spectrum. Soft cotton panties folded into rows, bras of every tone from practical nude to delicate lace. Stockings and tights rolled like little bundles of silk. Practical and pretty lived side by side now. Somehow that balance felt exactly right. My phone buzzed on the nightstand. I picked it up, smiling automatically. "Okay," I said aloud, narrating to the quiet room. "Ben says, brunch Sunday. Alice and I are thinking 11. You, Becca, and Haylie. No pressure. We just had fun talking at the party." Alice, that was her real name. The girl who'd been Velma on Halloween. I laughed softly and I responded to Ben with, "That sounds perfect. Count me in, I'll ask the girls." Another buzz. This time it's Chad and he says, "Morning, superstar. Gossip bulletin? Apparently your least favorite ex took a gap lifetime and transferred out. Rumor says voluntary break after, unpleasant persistence." I cackled so hard I needed hydration. "Your reign continues." I laughed, shaking my head. "Of course," he added, like 1,000 sparkles to the end, I said under my breath. In this rewritten world, Jake wasn't an old friend from Ken's days anymore. He was an ex-boyfriend who couldn't take a hint, a clingy shadow I'd tried to leave behind. It was cleaner, easier for the world to understand. Still, hearing it made something ache quietly inside. Even when the past doesn't fit anymore, losing a piece of it still stings. With a smirk, I responded to Chad, "You're chaos and I adore you. Thanks for the update." And the hydration PSA. 2 more messages stacked up. Becca says, "Status check. Are you alive and caffeinable?" Then immediately after, Haylie says, "PSLs are mutiny. 10-minute warning." I grinned, texting them back, "You two are relentless. On my way to the kitchen, doors open when you get here." I slipped my phone into my hand as I turned, giving my room one last look before leaving. It wasn't a pink, glittery makeover of who I'd been. It was just me. The books I loved were still stacked on the nightstand. The lamp was the same, the shade softer. The bones of the space hadn't moved. Only the heartbeat had changed color. When I reached the kitchen, sunlight slanted through the window, painting the counter in warm gold. I set the phone down beside a glass vase holding the small bouquet of autumn flowers, the same gold and russet chrysanthemums Lucas had brought me last night. I smiled, brushing a petal with my fingertip. Seeing them there made my chest flutter all over again, a quiet warmth rising at the thought of him and the way he'd smiled when he handed them over. I took a slow breath and leaned against the counter, absently scrolling through my phone while I waited for the doorbell. My feed had rewritten itself overnight, seamlessly. "Okay," I said under my breath, narrating to no one. "Instagram. It's all Kara now. Posts from last year. Apparently I won hottest first responder instead of whatever that old photo used to be, and this year's Power Girl post already has, wow, a lot of likes. I scrolled a little more. Same friends, same moments, just me instead of him. Then I opened my camera roll. My heart squeezed. There, buried between the new pictures, were the old ones that hadn't changed. Our photos, Kenneth and Becca sitting on the hood of her car at sunset. Kenneth holding the glove, younger and grinning as Dad wound up to throw. Kenneth, Haylie, and Becca on that same hill with soda cups and wind-tangled hair. The world had moved on, but our phones hadn't. Proof that the story existed before the rewrite. Proof that we'd earned this. I locked the screen and exhaled. The scent of the flowers mixed with the crisp air coming through the window. For a moment, I closed my eyes and just breathed it in. Then the doorbell rang, clear and bright. I pushed off the counter, wiping my hands on a towel just as the door opened and Becca's voice rang through the house. "We brought caffeine! PSLs and bagels per the sacred decree," Haylie added, kicking the door shut behind her. Steam curled from the drink tray she held, and the smell of pumpkin spice hit the air like a cheerful spell. I stepped out from the kitchen to meet them. "You two are the best," I said, grinning as Becca balanced the drinks like a pro. "Obviously," she replied. We carried everything upstairs, balancing the coffee tray and a bag of bagels that smelled like cinnamon and toasted heaven. The moment they stepped into my room, both froze. "Okay," Becca said slowly, sweeping her gaze around. "This is trippy. Everything's changed. It's so..." She gestured vaguely. "You." Haylie grabbed a pink throw pillow from the bed, inspecting it like it might bite. "Even your taste in decor upgraded. What the hell, it's cute in here." I laughed, still taking in all the subtle differences myself. Feels like my room got redecorated by fate. But even with all the new stuff, everything's exactly where I expected it to be, like I remembered putting it there. They set the coffees on my desk, and we sprawled across the bed like old times, minus the slight panic that used to hum beneath my skin. I reached for a bagel while Becca twirled slowly, studying the open closet. "Okay, I'm officially jealous," she said, eyes narrowing. "You got a full new wardrobe out of this cosmic makeover." Haylie peeked over her shoulder. "No kidding. Look at all that. Sweaters, dresses, boots. You basically get to try everything on for the first time. That's like my dream week." I laughed. "Then I guess I owe you both a private fashion show soon." "Deal," Becca said, smirking. "We'll bring snacks." We toasted our PSLs in agreement, sipping through our smiles. But as the laughter faded, the conversation turned quieter. Haylie was the first to break it. "So, I tested something this morning." Becca arched an eyebrow. "Define tested." I asked my little brother if he remembered Kenneth. She paused, letting the name hang for a moment. He looked at me like I'd sprouted a third eye. Becca frowned slightly. "Same. I asked my mom. She swore she's only ever known Kara." I went still, the warmth of my drink suddenly sharper in my hands. "So, we're the only ones who remember?" Becca nodded slowly. "Seems that way. The three of us." Haylie leaned back against my headboard, PSL balanced on her knee. "Guess the universe decided to hit save on the right version." I laughed softly, but my voice wavered just a little. "Good. He wasn't the story worth keeping?" For a moment, the room was still, except for the faint hum of the heater. Then I added, quieter. "Still, I kind of miss him. Or maybe just the time he had." Becca reached over, squeezing my hand. "He got you here. That's worth remembering." I nodded, blinking away a bit of mist. "Yeah, it is." Haylie picked up her phone, scrolling, then let out a small laugh. "At least we still have the receipts. Look, my photos still show Kenneth." Becca grabbed hers next, flipping through her camera roll. "Mine too. All the old stuff's still there. It's like our phones didn't get the memo." We traded glances. "Because we were part of the ritual," Becca realized aloud. "We're outside the rewrite." Everything else, the world, social media, even history, had changed completely, but not us. Becca leaned back, a grin slowly spreading. "Guess that makes us the secret keepers." "Guardians of the glitch," Haylie said, raising her cup in mock solemnity. I clinked mine against hers. Then I guess this story's ours to protect. For a moment, the three of us just sat there, surrounded by the soft colors of my new life, laughing quietly over bagels and lattes, the world outside spinning on without a clue. My phone buzzed against the blanket. It was my mom texting, "We just landed. Can't wait to see you, sweetheart." My stomach flipped. Sweetheart. No confusion. No hesitation. Becca peeked over my shoulder. "That them?" "Yeah," I said softly. "They're on their way home." Haley's grin turned mischievous. "Okay, so what do we think? Are they gonna walk in like, 'Who's this beautiful stranger in our house?' Or just, poof, think you've always been their daughter?" Becca tilted her head, thinking, "Everyone else acted like it's always been that way, but parents feel different. Maybe they remember on some level. Or maybe it's completely rewritten for them too," Haley said, half whispering, as if the universe might overhear. "Like clean slate. No Ken, no questions." I tried to smile, but my chest tightened. "I guess we'll find out soon." Becca reached out and gave my arm a gentle squeeze. "Hey, whatever happens, they're still your parents, and they're gonna love you just the same. We already know that part." Haley grinned. "Yeah, but still, I kinda wish I could stay to see it happen. You know, strictly for scientific reasons." Becca laughed. "Right, totally science. Totally." "Nice try," I said, smirking. They gathered their things, brushing stray crumbs off my comforter, and headed for the door with one last round of hugs. "You'll text us after, right?" Becca asked. "Promise," I said. "I'll let you know what happens." When the house finally quieted, I stood for a long moment in the stillness, coffee cups and laughter still echoing faintly behind me. I took a breath, then started straightening things. The couch pillows, the vase of flowers on the counter, a few stray mugs in the sink. By the time the clock crept past 2, the place looked perfect. Normal. Like this had always been my life. The rumble of tires in the driveway pulled me from my thoughts. I wiped my hands on a dish towel just as the front door opened and familiar voices filled the hall. "Kara," my mom called, suitcase wheels bumping over the threshold. "Hey, you're home?" I rushed forward, and then I was wrapped up in her arms before I could say another word. She smelled like airport coffee and expensive hand lotion, the kind she always brought back from trips. "Oh, it's so good to see you again," she said against my hair. "You look amazing." My dad hugged me next, warm and solid. "It's so good to see my beautiful daughter again." There was no hesitation in his voice, just love. I swallowed hard, smiling. "You guys look great. How was Japan?" "Wonderful," Mom said, bright-eyed despite the flight. "And we brought you something?" She reached into one of the suitcases and unwrapped a small parcel tied with silk ribbon. Inside was a breathtaking kimono-inspired dress, soft pastel fabric embroidered with delicate cherry blossoms that shimmered when they caught the light. "It's gorgeous," I whispered. Mom beamed. "We saw it and thought, that's our Kara. It suits your style perfectly." Dad nodded approvingly, graceful but strong. Emotions swelled tight in my chest. "Thank you. Really." As Mom laid the dress aside, her eyes caught on the vase beside the sink, gold and russet chrysanthemums bright against the afternoon light. "Oh, who are those from?" she asked, smiling. I hesitated a beat too long. "Just a neighbor." Her smile curved knowingly. "Lucas, right?" I blinked. "You know about him?" "Your father said he helped you with the mailbox last month. He seemed fond of you." Dad gave a faint chuckle, but didn't deny it. "He's nice," I said, unable to keep the smile from creeping back. As Mom moved on, chatting about the flight, the thought lingered. If I'd had this mailbox interaction with Lucas last month, what else about my past with Lucas had changed? Mom winked. "Nice is a good start." After my parents retired for the evening, the house felt calm again, soft, still, almost humming with contentment. I wandered back upstairs, fingers brushing the railing, the faint scent of the flowers following me down the hall. My room glowed with the last light of sunset. The lavender on the walls had turned dusky and warm, and everything around me looked exactly as it should. Whole, balanced, mine. I crossed to the dresser, eyes catching on the framed photos that now lined the shelf. There I was. Pigtails, missing tooth, grinning beside mom at the beach, middle school graduation, awkward smile, same proud parents behind me. All rewritten, all seamless. Yet the love in those pictures felt the same as it ever had. They hadn't lost a thing, only gained a daughter. I sat on the edge of my bed, tracing the seam of my flannel sleeve with my thumb. The world had adjusted. The people I loved had adapted without question. Only Becca, Haylie, and I carried the memory of who I'd been. And somehow, that was enough. The world remembered peace. We remembered the truth. My phone buzzed on the nightstand. I picked it up, smiling as I read. From Becca. "So, the big reunion went well?" I typed back, "They brought me a kimono. They think it's always been me." A moment later, Haylie chimed in. "Told you reality has excellent taste?" I laughed softly, replying, "Guess it does." I set the phone down and turned toward the window. Across the street, Lucas's porch light glowed faintly through the trees, steady and golden, the same warm color as the flowers he'd brought me. My reflection hovered faintly on the glass, framed by the twilight outside. No ghost of Kenneth stared back at me anymore. No echo of uncertainty. Just me, Kara. I didn't feel like I was standing between two lives. I was simply living one. Mine.
Did that leave you wanting more? The naughty version's waiting for you on my Patreon, along with so many other juicy little secrets. Go on, baby. You know where to find me.